In the summer of 2015, Europe experienced the highest income of refugees since the Second World War. Why? The main reason is that Syria has become the world's top source of refugees due to the civil war between Syrian rebels and the long-lasting Assad dictator regime. Different ethnicities and religious groups fought each other in changing coalitions. ISIS, a militaristic jihadist group, used the opportunity and entered the chaos with the goal to build a totalitarian Islamic caliphate. Very quickly it became one of the most violent and successful extremist organizations on earth. All sides committed horrible war crimes using chemical weapons, mass executions, torture on a large scale, and repeated deadly attacks on civilians. As a result, 4 million refugees fled the country. The EU and the UN were not prepared for a refugee crisis on this scale. Therefore, many refugee camps are crowded and undersupplied, subjecting people to cold, hunger, and disease. Syrians lost hope that the situation would be getting better anytime soon, so many decided to seek asylum in Europe. The world needed to come together and act as a united front, but instead, it has become more divided. There are 4 popular concerns as to why we shouldn't allow the intake of such high refugee numbers, these being Islam, high birth rates, crime, and the collapse of the social systems. Let's acknowledge this and look at the facts. The religion-related effect it would have on the EU if it were to take in all 4 million would mean a 1% increase in Muslim quantity. This is not a drastic change and will certainly not make it a Muslim continent. Birth rates in many parts of the Western world are low, so some fear asylum seekers might overtake the native population in a few decades. Studies have shown that even though birth rates are higher among Muslims in Europe, they drop and adjust as the standard of living and level of education rises. Most Syrian refugees already are educated, and birth rate in Syria was not high before the war. The fear that refugees lead to high crime rates also turns out to be wrong. Refugees who become immigrants are less likely to commit crimes than the native population. Also, when they find work, they become involved in the society and give more than they take to the overall balance. Syrians coming to the West are potential professional workers, desperately needed to sustain Europe's aging population. Also, refugees traveling with smartphones has led to the misconception that they're not really in need of help. Social media and the internet have become a vital part of being a refugee. GPS is used to navigate the long routes to Europe. Facebook groups give tips and information about obstacles in real time. This only proves that these people are like us. If you had to make a dangerous journey, would you leave your phone behind? The European Union is the wealthiest bunch of economies on earth. Well-organized states with functioning social systems, infrastructure, democracy, and huge industries. It can handle the challenge of the refugee crisis if it wants to. The same can be said for the whole Western world. But while tiny Jordan has taken in over 600,000 Syrian refugees, the UK, which has 78 times the GDP of Jordan, has only said it will allow 20,000 Syrians across its borders over the next 5 years. The US has agreed to accept 10,000. Australia, just 12,000 people. Overall, things are slowly getting better, but not fast enough. We are writing history right now. By accepting them into our countries and integrating them into our societies, we have much to gain. There's only something to be lost if we ignore this crisis. More dead children are sure to wash ashore if we don't act with humanity and reason. Let's do this right and try to be the best we possibly can be.